Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. Let's take a look at the charts. I'll start with this daily chart. Gapped higher, big rally on Monday on the heels of the Trump administration making an announcement for the accelerated approval of auto driving technology, auto driving vehicles. This is obviously bullish for Tesla. They're at the forefront of that. And so here we are. Here we are right back at that 2-year channel top. So once again, as frustrating as it might be for you near-term traders, and by that I mean 2 to 3 week swing traders especially, we're at this sort of inconclusive question mark. 338 even is a big level, and we settled right at it essentially on Monday. And yes, we really do. We're right back where we were a week ago, where I was saying now we need to wait for Friday. And that is really what we need to do. We need to see if we settle Friday out above that 337.37 2-year channel top, the same formation on the weekly chart, by a full 1% margin. That's 340.75 or higher. You can see it over here, to then indicate in pretty quick order 414.49, that November 21 high. That could be within 2 to 3 weeks, could be within a couple of months, depending on volatility. But overall, 499.93 will be calling this market, and I think would be a realistic objective. That could be 3 to 5 months, could take a little longer, could take a little less, but that would be the big picture objective if we settle Friday at 340.75 or higher. Until then, what played out last week could play out this week once again, whereby, we settle, for instance, below 338 even today. Now, yesterday's low, we don't show it here, was 330.01. And I'll just say, even though I don't have it in the minor support levels, that if we close below 330.01, we probably have a good high for the week. Downside today, I do have nothing but minor points until we test perhaps this descending channel top at 319.82. And I do think that this could contain daily selling pressures, but I say this only for day traders. I'm really not crazy about buying that on a 3 to 5 day basis. Unless we can bounce nicely, you can buy it on a day trade basis. And then if we can at least close above, Monday's 330.01 low, or ideally higher on the day, that is to say above this 338 even formation, then you can hold it overnight for the next few days, as we could then continue higher. But if we test 319.82 without much of a bounce, my advice would be to get out by the closing bell, because this market can continue to give it away. We do have, 299.29 is the July 23 high, which you can see here, and I'm going to call that kind of a 1 to 2 day target if we were to close below 319.82, which is probably a long shot. But who knows? If we close below 319.82 within a day or two of that, we test that 299.29 July all-time high. Now, do we still expect 275.34 to 284.22? To say that I expect it, well, let me put it this way, that if we settle the week Friday, below that channel top at 337.37, then yes, still expect it. But that, there's several days now for this to play out. And that's really kind of where it's at. We are at a real critical capitulation point. We're in a high volatility framework, so really anything can happen. But, closing lower on the day today is a sign of weakness to some extent, but it really is a settlement below 319.82. I think if we close below that, that is your go with sell signal. I think the writing is on the wall. This thing can unravel back to 299.22 within the week. And yes, over the next few weeks, if we close below 319.82 within 1 to 2 weeks, this 275.34 to 284.22 region, if this area is tested, this red line and black line, 275.34 to 84.22 over the next few weeks, does represent a solid zone to cover any short positions you may have over the 3 to 5 week time frame, and in fact go long back into the upper 330s. Of course, closing below 275.34 would be a sell signal in and of itself, and I would anticipate a lower trade into the lower 230s within a matter of 2 to 3 weeks. Let's cover the upside today. I need to find the right chart here. And I think this one says a lot. Pushing or opening above 338 even. We're right there right now. We certainly have 350 even. We almost tested that actually on Monday. That is the high settlement price that was put out a little over a week ago. It can contain intraday buying pressures, but if we push through, especially if we open today above 350 even, 364.75 is likely. Simple trend line off these highs, well suited to contain daily buying pressures only. I don't see this as a 3 to 5 day swing trade. And in fact, I think if we close above 350 even, that probably pivots the market up for the rest of the week. 384.29, then in reach by Friday's close. That is the April 22 high. Do I show that anywhere? Yes, I do. That it was a significant high that was put out and that played out then for the rest of the year at that time. So 384.29 is really kind of a 2 to 3, 3 to 5 day target at the longest, above 364.75, et cetera, et cetera. By which point, I think the odds favor a clear settlement above 337.37 on Friday. In fact, I will get back to this chart here. I think if we close above 350 even, and you're wondering whether you should go long through the rest of the week, whether that long-term buy signal above the 338 even level will play out, I think you can take that shot. I think if we close above 350 even, which is the high settlement price from last week, I think you can play the long side through the rest of the week. You obviously then want to see the market settle Friday at 340.75 or higher. That would then usher in a new significant long-term buy signal to 499.93. So once again, closing above 350.00, you can play the long side, I think, through the rest of the week. Obviously, there are risks. There's always risks, but yes, closing above 350 even after what played out on Monday, I think is a solid go with through the rest of the week. If you want to wait for a settlement above 364.75, that's fine too. But I do think 350 even, we're going to call this a session containment level, but given the volatility right now, we want to keep it light. But I will say pushing through and closing above 350 even is a green light through the rest of the week, which does imply then, of course, a long-term buy signal on Friday above 337.37 by the 1% degree of 340.75. Until then, there's a big question as to what's playing out. And the downside certainty comes into play with a settlement today below 319.82. Then likely over the next couple of weeks to fall into the mid-270s to mid-280s. I think it's about as simple as that. Please click like, share, subscribe. I'm going to leave it at that for Tuesday's Tesla Report. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with Wednesdays. You have a great evening.